And hello, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Deskovic, native of Peekskill, New York. I grew up here. As everyone knows, I fight on behalf of wrongfully convicted people through my nonprofit organization, the Jeffrey Deskovic Foundation for Justice, which frees wrongfully convicted people and pursues policy changes aimed at preventing that from happening. I'm an advisory board member of the coalition group It Could Happen to You. And lastly, I serve on the Global Advisory Council for Restorative Justice International. As everyone knows, my advocacy work is based on the fact that I spent 16 years incarcerated for a murder and rape I didn't commit. I was arrested actually here in Peekskill, where we're doing the interview today, and was incarcerated from age 17 to 32, ultimately being exonerated by DNA testing. So beyond starting the nonprofit and becoming a lawyer and having my life as a mission of service and people in the same position I have some exciting updates. That's all by way of letting you know who I am if you don't know already, which chances are you do. And in case you don't, this video is self-contained. So, some exciting updates in my career as a lawyer. Recently, in Erie County in New York, I did my first oral argument and I won a ruling on behalf of my client, Omar Clark. We are now allowed to have an evidentiary hearing so we can present evidence of his innocence and evidence that his attorney did no investigation at all whatsoever. So, first victory in court as an attorney. Secondly, in two other cases, we did file in the conviction review unit. So that's a unit within the district attorney's office, which is supposed to review claims of actual innocence. And I was able to file there on behalf of a client who was wrongfully incarcerated. So we filed that case, and then in a different conviction review unit in a different jurisdiction, filed another case on yet another person's case that was wrongfully incarcerated. So 3 cases on wrongful conviction I've been active on as of late as an attorney. I just came from the Pennsylvania legislature in Harrisburg, where I was building support amongst the Republican legislators for exoneree compensation, recalling that Pennsylvania is one of 13 states that does not give wrongfully convicted people any compensation at all. So Republicans are in control of the legislature there, hence the need of building Republican support. And really, wrongful conviction is it's not really a Republican or Democratic issue, it's a human rights issue. So I'm reaching out to them. So I did that. And then Tuesday I will be in Albany lobbying elected officials, speaking at a press conference / rally on behalf of a bill referred to as the Challenging Wrongful Convictions Act. In a nutshell, that bill will allow people who cannot afford an attorney to have an attorney represent them in a post-conviction hearing. It will allow people who have pled guilty to argue innocence in court. So a lot of innocent people do plead guilty, and if later on attorneys are able to find evidence of their innocence, they're not allowed right now to argue that that evidence proves that their client is innocent. You're not allowed to argue that, so this legislation would prevent that. And lastly, anyone who's been convicted of a crime which is now no longer a crime, they would be able to go to court and remove that from their record. So kind of a common sense bill, but going to Albany to lobby for that passage, working, of course, with colleagues. And so that, my friends, is the latest wrap-up on my advocacy work, and enjoying a little bit of time off amongst all of that here in Peekskill, but wanted to give everyone an update on my advocacy career and the work of my foundation. It's wonderful to come back to Peekskill, Cherry Blossom. There's a lot of interesting tents here with various products, all kinds of food, and it's always wonderful to be back in Peekskill, particularly with the sun out. Please visit us at www.deskovic.org. We do have a web crowdfunding campaign on the website Patreon. It's for people that are willing to be recurring monthly donors. We're looking for 25,000 people to agree to donate $3 to $5 on a recurring monthly basis to that website. Imagine, less than a cup of coffee a day would allow us to work on freeing still more people, because while we filed in those cases and have gotten 11 people home so far overall, helping to pass 9 laws, the reality is that there are 7 other cases that are approved that are just simply waiting. We don't have the bandwidth to work on them. If we had additional financial resources, we could hire additional legal professionals and work on freeing still more people. 100% of the money would go towards the mission of the organization. None of it would find its way into my pocket under any rationale. It would go 100% to the mission. Thank you very much for listening.